There are a couple of things which might be going on here. First is sort of the obvious one, which you simply might not be able to finish a dissertation or a thesis or one of these long written projects. Look, some people get through the master's and can't complete the dissertation. You know, sometimes you get into a subject and you're interested in it, and then you realize you just don't really have it in you to write one of these major long documents, you know, one of these huge productions. So that's a possibility. It might just be that you've reached a wall and it's time to say, well, okay, maybe I'm not cut out for this. But there's a second, more intriguing possibility for what might be going on. If you have a real trouble, you hit a real writer's block kind of a wall with a dissertation or a thesis. And that's you might not want to do it. So it isn't really here a question of your ability. It's a question of your desire, you know. Essentially what you're running up against is your unconscious child. You're running into your id. You're running into that little part of you which doesn't want to do what it doesn't want to do. Your unconscious is always going to seek pleasure. It's always going to want to do things that feel good. And you can't ignore it. That little child in you, you know, you can't just blast right through him and say, I'm going to do this and you're going to shut up. Because he's not going to let you do it. And that's when you run into these problems like, you know, procrastination, when you say to yourself, I don't know why I can't finish my dissertation. Well, the reason you can't finish your dissertation is that there's a part of you that doesn't want to finish your dissertation, okay? And we need to sit down and find out why that part of you really doesn't want to do this, okay? It may be that it simply isn't fun. And that might seem flippant, but I'm not trying to be flippant here. I mean, work should be fun. Work should really come out of play. The play part of our lives should sort of engender the, you know, it should be part of the work part. It should, the work emerges from the play. So we find out the things that we love to do and the things that we're probably good at because we love to do them. And those are the things that should really be where our work life is focused. The problem here is that you may be doing something that you simply don't really enjoy doing. And we have to ask, well, why are you doing it then? You know, I mean, maybe you have it in your head that you want to be an academic. But, you know, academics love to write. Academics churn out big, long books and they're happy, you know, writing it. Writers love to write. In fact, if you really hate writing, you have to ask yourself, you know, do I really want to be a writer? You know, it might be nice to have a book with your name on the cover, but the question is, do you want to sit and write it? Will you enjoy that? Will that make you happy? Now, again, I want to be clear that I'm not saying that hard work is bad or that you shouldn't, you know, do something if it's hard. Hard work can be fun, you know. I mean, if you really love something, you can work really hard at it. You can really get down and tough with something that is not easy, but that you're still kind of enjoying doing. You're enjoying the challenge of it. So the question here is, you know, are you trying to do something which simply isn't enjoyable? And is your unconscious, that child, that pleasure-seeking part of you, that id, as Freud referred to it, saying, no, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to suffer through this dissertation. I want to do something I enjoy. If that's the case, if you can do it, but you just don't want to do it, it's worth asking whether you shouldn't listen to that id.